issue all year. I mean, it has, their turnover percentage has been awful all season. It's been a weakness.
San Antonio took the lead in game 3 and pulled away. Are they doing it again? The lead's 13 on the triple by the 6th man of the year, Keldon Johnson. A 16-3 run. Who will stop the bleeding, if anybody, for the Blazers? Henderson fouled, the reach in by Harper.
And not surprising, right? That once De'Aaron touches the paint, now he's got his offensive rhythm. It feels good. And then just check your wrists, because you are on fire, my friend.
Keldon Johnson, who had been struggling all series, gets a huge 3, his first basket of the game, to push the lead to 13. 3rd foul on Harper. 3rd team foul on the Spurs. Castle remains on the bench in foul trouble with 5. Grant underneath, scores. Would handle the situation. They get down 15 in game 3, come back and win. Down 19 in game 4, come back and lead by 11.
And I would say that the commonality amongst those 3 bigs, Robinson, Duncan, and him, great pressure there, great pressure.
Abdia in the open floor, behind the head. Holiday fouled. Go ahead and finish your point, Doris, as Holiday goes to the line.
Just that, you know, Victor's, the way he comports himself as a teammate, right? It's about the group. It's about winning. There's an equanimity to the way he goes about his business. I would say Robinson and Duncan embodied all of those qualities. Now, his skill set are obviously different.
But equally effective as he checks back in. He's played 29 minutes, missed game 3 in concussion protocol. And was a little rusty early, was short on a couple of triple tries, but was dominant here in the second half. If the Spurs complete the comeback, it would be their largest in 14 years in the playoffs. Trailed by 24 to the Clippers in 2012 in the second round, ended up winning by 10. They're up 9 after the free throw. Still 6.5 to go in eternity in the NBA. Harper using the Wembanyama screen, who rolls, gets bumped, and will go to the line with Abdia picking up the foul, his 4th. They are plus 25 with Victor Wembanyama in the game. That's the difference he makes on both ends of the court. In the MVP conversation, we'll know that in a few weeks, whether he wins the award. He's the Defensive Player of the Year unanimously, the first ever and the youngest ever to win the award. And a beautiful looking stroke. He's got 22 points. Coming up after the game, it's Inside the NBA, presented by McDonald's. Ernie and the crew will break down a busy day. Great win for Toronto to even the series with Cleveland. 2 more games tonight coming up in the NBA playoffs. De'Aaron Fox has 24 points. Victor Wembanyama now with 23 in the lead, back to 11.
I think it's not touching any of the rim. It's just pure.
Blazers at some point are going to need some threes, and they only have 2 here in the second half. As that gets knocked away by Fox.
I think it went off Drew's foot.
Yeah, it did. I'm surprised Holiday didn't try to get the ball as it rolled out of bounds. He must have thought it was last touch by San Antonio. Otherwise, he goes for that. $14 turnovers by Portland. 23 points off those turnovers for the Spurs.
Mismatch here. There you go. Scoot jumps out of that matchup, gets Jeremy on him.
Harper muscles it up, and it's good.
Good adjustment by him. I thought that was going to be a block shot.
His first field goal of the game. Abdia runs right into Wembanyama, so he throws an errant pass.
I mean, back-to-back turnovers. There's been so many times where it's like must execute possessions, and this is what they are. 30th in turnover percentage. Brutal.
Johnson gets 2. The lead is up to 15. Timeout, Portland. Set with Oklahoma City last year, the youngest team to be a 1 seed, just like they were the previous year, but they lost in the conference semis 2 years ago, won the championship. So far, the inexperience and youth of the Spurs really has not been a factor in this series. De'Aaron Fox does have postseason experience, along with Harrison Barnes and Luke Cornett. As he drains a three, De'Aaron Fox up to 27 points, and they may have just put the Blazers to bed. It's an 18-point game, and they cough it up again. Fox in transition. Keldon Johnson with a slam. It's a 20-point game.
Wow.
And then a foul on the reach in by Vassell.
You know, De'Aaron Fox, there's a lot of conversation. Could the three guards play together? Fox being foxy with it out front. Got to look at the hand again. But, you know, you said something earlier, and this was something Coach Mitch Johnson said, because the conversation was, could the three guards play together? Harper, Castle, Fox. So this season, Fox has taken the fewest shots per game going all the way back to 2019. That shows you a level of sacrifice, understanding that there's talent beside me, that Castle has got to be a huge part of who we are. And I remember Chet Holmgren talking about this last year, because Oklahoma City's so talented that there's a lot of guys who sacrifice. And Chet was like, yeah, everybody says they want to win until it requires something that they have to give up. Well, for Fox, that has been opportunities at times on the offensive end. What a brilliant afternoon.
And Wembanyama called for the offensive foul. Sissoko, who's getting his first minutes of the game, draws the charge. But you're right, Doris. You think about what it takes to win big in this league, and the leadership you have to display, how you have to bring along the young guys, as Avdia cans a three to make it a 15-point game. 4 minutes to go. Fox fouled on the drive. It's on Drew Holiday. So 2 free throws for Fox, who's 1 of 2 at the line. Game 5 Tuesday in San Antonio. The Spurs, if they can finish this, will look to close it out at home. They'll play either Denver or Minnesota if they can do that in the conference semifinals. The game on Tuesday will be on ESPN at 9:30 Eastern time, and then if necessary back here in Portland, and then again if necessary next Saturday, May 2nd, back in Texas.
Well, if you're Minnesota, you have worked so hard to get command of that series, and then you lose Dante DiVincenzo and Anthony Edwards. Absolutely brutal for that group.
Game 5, Minnesota-Denver Monday, with Nuggets trying to keep that series alive. Shot clock at 7 for Grant, and he loses it in the lane. Great hands by Harper. It'll be a jump ball with 2.5 on the clock. Boy, the defense of San Antonio, they were top 3 all year in defensive efficiency. There's the centerpiece, Victor Wembanyama, but they're very good with their perimeter players as well on defense.
It goes far beyond him. And what a job Mitch Johnson has done with this young group. I mean, you think about in the history of sports, I don't care what we're talking about, NFL, college basketball, like to take over for a legend. You know, many people think the greatest coach in the history of the NBA and Greg Popovich. To do it that graciously, with the humility that has come to define the organization, like it speaks volumes about Mitch's character.
He's only 39 years old. He's in his 10th year with the organization. Actually, prior to that, he was up here in Portland. Spent 1 season at the University of Portland, as we have another jump ball. Played at Stanford, played with the Lopez twins. He was the point guard on some very good Stanford teams.
Pop casts an enormous shadow. You've got to step into the role in difficult circumstances and then somehow make the program your own. And he did.
Also give Brian Wright, the general manager, a ton of credit for the job that he's done. R.C. Buford, Greg Popovich still very much involved as much as he can be, and the organization just keeps going with great basketball as Spurs turn it over. It's kind of now or never for the Blazers. 3:12 on the clock, down 16.
It's a great point about Brian Wright, because RC casts an enormous shadow as well for team building and championships.
Scoot Henderson 0 for 7, has not scored in the game, was great in game 2 with 31. At 21 in the game 3 loss, as Holiday's fouled. Wembanyama can't believe it. Just want to throw this out there. We just got this from Ethan Cooperson, our outstanding statistician. In Spurs history, regular season or postseason, they have never trailed by 15 points or more at halftime and gone on to win by 15 points or more. They were down 17 at the half. They're up 16 right now. 3 minutes to go here in game 4. Chance for the Blazers to get some points with a clock stopped as Champagne's back on the court. Harper to the bench for San Antonio. And Holiday now with 19 points. Avdia's got 26, but it didn't feel like it.
No. And I'm guessing it's because you had great teams, right? You had Tony Parker and Tim Duncan and Manu and David Robinson. You weren't going down 15.
True. Yeah. But you think about what they've been through the last few years. In 2023, they won 22 games. 2024, 22 games. 2025, 34 games. And this year, the leap to 62. Fox for a 3, way off, rebound Holiday.
Gotta finish this here because they want to score in a hurry.
Sissoko attacking. Wembanyama pulled the chair up, but threw it right to Sissoko. Grant with a follow jam. It's down to 12 with 2.5 to go.
Yeah, you can't think this is over here.
Castle gets it across the timeline. And right in his grill is Avdia. Castle somehow keeps the dribble alive. Goes around Wembanyama, drives the paint, and gets to the basket. Counted and one. And then Avdia shoves Castle. Castle shoves him back. Avdia did not like the fact that Castle took the ball and put it at the chest of Avdia. No one has come off the bench right now for either team. As coaches step in, technicals will be called.
That's going to be
will go to their respective benches.
That's going to be an unsportsmanlike tech on Stephon Castle to start with. You can't, after that, put the ball into the chest of your opponent.
Watch here after he takes the ball.